Hello, this is Lindsay with University City Public Library with another 3 in a theme for today. I'd like to start this video off talking just a little bit about my personal reading preferences, especially during times of stress and crisis like this. I tend to have a really hard time focusing on traditional book formats, novels, nonfiction, what have you, that are just straight text. I just have a very hard time focusing. I get distracted very easily. So in times like this, I tend to gravitate more towards graphic novels and audiobooks. So with that in mind, my 3 in a theme for today are 3 feel-good graphic novels and comics that are available to you immediately through Hoopla. So my first recommendation is actually graphic nonfiction. This is by Forney, one of my favorite authors and artists. This is Rocksteady, Brilliant Advice from My Bipolar Life. This came out in 2018 with Fantagraphics. This, as the subtitle will tell you, provides some tips and tricks about how Forney has dealt with her bipolar disorder over the past several years. This is not limited to people with bipolar disorder. I think that this has wonderful advice for people who are just dealing with heightened stress on a day-to-day basis now. And it has just a wonderful exploration of different parts of our mental health. And the tips and tricks in here, you can do a lot of these just right away as you're sitting with the book. This is actually a book that I'm thinking about rereading now as we all shelter in place for the next weeks and months maybe. And so again, this is Rocksteady, Brilliant Advice from My Bipolar Life by Forney. My next recommendation for you is a series available through Hoopla. This is by the British comics writer John Allison. It is Giant Days. This was published by Boom Studios and has many volumes. This actually started as a webcomic in 2011 and got picked up by Boom in 2015 and just had its final issue last year in 2019. So you can read the whole series on Hoopla. It is a wonderful, cheeky, goofy series that follows 3 young women as they go through college, Susan, Esther, and Daisy, as they navigate school, their friendship, love interests, work, you name it. Something very silly usually ensues, and I think I have a laugh out loud moment for every issue that I read. So that's Giant Days by John Allison, multiple illustrators, so I'm not going to list them all here, but that is again available on Hoopla. I would also like to recommend, if you are reading comics on Hoopla, a comics series on Hoopla, that you maybe look for volumes over issues. So with comics, their issues are generally very short. They're 30 to 32 pages, and you're going to blow through your checkouts, your monthly checkouts, a lot quicker than you might if you checked out a volume, which compiles multiple issues into one volume. And those will say which issues, so you don't have to worry about reading out of order. So again, I would recommend looking for volumes when you're checking out comics on Hoopla over the issues. All right, my final recommendation is actually a teen graphic novel. I often find, again, when I am having a hard time focusing, checking out a teen novel or graphic novel helps a lot with that focus. It tends to be plot-driven, maybe over being character-driven, so you get that bam, bam, bam action that really helps you kind of keep moving along. So with that said, Nimona by Noelle Stevenson is my recommendation. This came out in 2015 by HarperCollins Teen Imprint, and this follows the the wonderful life of Nimona, who is a shapeshifter, who is also a want-to-be supervillain. So she ingratiates herself with the supervillain, Ballister Blackheart, as they wreak havoc across the countryside. But in the course of that, they uncovered a dastardly plot by the government that it's going to impact its citizens, and as they are trying to navigate that, they're tangling with the the hero of the country, Sir Goldenloin, and as we learn more about the characters and their complicated relationship, the plot gets thicker and thicker, and I have to say that this is going to be just as funny to adults as it is to teens. So again, my recommendation for Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. Again, this is available through Hoopla, and it is a standalone graphic novel, so you'll just be able to check it out. You don't have to worry about checking out multiple parts of a series with this one. So those are my 3 feel-good comics recommendations that you can get on Hoopla today. I hope you all are doing well and hanging in there, reaching out to your community as you need that, and don't be afraid to reach out to people. We hope you are doing well and that you take care of yourselves during this hard time. Thank you. Have a good day.